Boyz. Because we're coming into it late, though, there's not going to be any draft. They're already ready to go with their draft, so the victory screen is going to look a little strange, but at the same time, as we get into it, we will be basically starting, like, now.
Yeah, right away. We're just waiting on one player to ready up. Looks like, I think, was the Battleground Dragonshire or Cursed Hollow?
It is Dragonshire, I believe.
Looking at it, it looks like we have, let's see, I think that's Simon's Boyz, Nova, Johanna, Uther, Jaina, and Tyrael. And then Vault has Leoric, Zagara, somebody I can't see, Nazebo, and Malfurion. So another Zagara and Nazebo.
Don't worry about the draft, guys. I am just screwing it all up so I can assign heroes. That's all this is. This is not in order whatsoever. Okay, well, I think we told them that we're ready.
Yeah.
Who was the one you couldn't see? That makes no sense. Nazebo, Zagara, Malfurion, Leoric, Tassadar is what I have for you guys. And there's the fade as we get into the game. All right, so you might hear some hero sounds. Don't worry about it. I've never actually had to skip a draft before, so this is new to me. But it is going to be Dragonshire, game number 1, Vault GG and Simon's Boyz. And, you know, Gilly, people are saying that I've been stealing your Indeed for you. You want to just pander to the crowd a little bit here?
Indeed, I can do that.
Oh, so
hop
good.
Into the Dragonshire.
Gilly Weed Indeed.
Weed Indeed.
Waiting for that sub emote.
Well, just a few more and I will have it.
Guys, did you hear that? We can get an Indeed emote from Gillyweed if you go sub their channel, twitch.tv/GillyweedSC2. Make it happen, Twitch chat. Make it happen. All right, into the game we go. On the left-hand side, if you are not aware, it is going to be the crew of Vault GG. I don't actually know if that's GSL U-ish or GS Lewish or G Slewish. I'm just going to call him Lou. General Clean got an upgrade because he's no longer just a Mr. Babooey. GG Inc. Famous and Novus. It is Vault GG for you.
It's going to be very fun to cast. Let's look at the names of Simon's Boyz, who will be their opponents. Vanity King, Zenso Logos, and Shuppler. Names
please. All right, what did we just see on this match? Well, a lot of the time teams would take a bit of a stand here into the mid, but you know, we actually have the Vault GG Tassadar there in the mid, so he's not exactly going to go down early. The 5-man roam will not yield anything here from Simon's Boyz, so they're going to have to split. Novus looks like he's going to be into the top, and we got the party lane bottom with the double specialist Zagara and Nazebo push lane.
Yeah, that's going to be a super push heavy lane for Vault, as they thankfully do have Tassadar and Leoric, who are pretty good at solo laners. So it'll be up to Simon's Boyz to try to stop this push. They're already being very aggressive here with their 4-man roam. General Clean getting very low, but will stay alive. Uther, though, will be the takedown. So this gank coming back to haunt Simon's Boyz.
Yeah, they had a good idea of trying to take down General Clean as quick as he can. Doesn't have any mobility. The CC train, unfortunately, just didn't quite connect. And the zombie wall is actually now almost 2 for 2 with Zinzo. He's going to actually have to fall back all the way to the Hall of Storms. And as he said, like that gank just coming back to them, not exactly going to be the worthwhile roam that they were looking for. King in the mid up against Famous. That's not exactly going to favor the Nova because of the Oracle. But here's the Shrines, Gilly.
All right, well, on the bottom, the 3-man squad easily going to pick that up for Vault. On top, Vault also grabbing it with Novus here. Leoric getting it, having the lane push very far for his favor. But King is on his way in. He and Vanity might try to pick up Novus here as he's going to run in, trying to get it. And now Wraithwalk has to go down. Will be able to get away.
Yep, and there's that point going over to Vanity and crew, as well as a little bit of pressure here mid up against Famous. He is basically stuck on the defensive, but bottom lane push has actually been pretty much unanswered. They got Johanna down there, but she's not exactly the end-all when it comes to this. And that first tower is very much in danger of dropping.
Now, Nova has come in, and Lou is very low, is going to be able to get away, though, thanks to the very good creep spread that he has put out so far, and that's going to be nice and helping him with his speed, getting away from ganks like that. Level 4 talents coming in. I wanted to point out that Zagara did pick up corpse speeders at level 1, so not going to go for reconstitution, instead helping try to take up as much ammo as they can from those towers.
Yeah, and with that Envenom Spines, I think that's our first Envenom Spines of the day? I don't know, but Baba Booey is actually going to be very much in danger of dropping, but there was no flashlight, as Jake and the crew actually calls it. But General Clean, again, narrowly avoiding death at the edge of that blizzard. Logos and crew, looks like they will secure this bottom. It took 4-man pressure to do it. That means Novus up into the top has kind of been left to his own devices. Vanity not looking so hot, and Famous has still been soaking up this mid fairly effectively.
I really love the Snowstorm pickup for Jaina when you can throw it down on a gate and people are trying to get away, trying to just run through, and they get hit by both of those and get taken out. I've seen it so many times. King and Shepler tried to come up and get a gank on Novus, who will be able to get away, but it is at least enough that Simon's Boys can grab one of the shrines and get a little bit of the pressure of a Dragon Knight potentially off them.
Famous is still basically just manning the hatches at this point. General Clean, Baba Booey, and crew looks like they're going to be putting up some of that Merc pressure. Top again, Novus. Vanity has nowhere to go. The Drain Hope is so good up against the Archangel. And, you know, points are just basically playing Ring Around the Rosie at this point in time.
Level 4 talents for both teams, as it looks like Simon's Boys are able to pick up the bottom shrine, at least for now, but Ball already back on the offensive. Low on mana, though, so they really need to be careful. They do have Malfury in there, but he didn't pick up any Innervate talents, so that is a fairly long cooldown, but Logos getting caught by the roots will go down.
Yeah, it wasn't the zombie donut, but it will be the roots of the forest ready to go. Famous is now still holding down this mid, but I would have really expected a bigger transition, like Lou or Baba Booey. Like, okay, fine, all of them. There we go, finally transitioning-ish. All right, they don't want a dragon. They're okay with just threatening the pressure. They are instead going to be taking out these creeps, and my word, they really took them down fast, didn't they?
Yeah. And up top, Novus is basically going a 1v2 here. Vanity is nearly down. King is having a heck of a time trying to stop him from holding that shrine. They just want one shrine to stop that pressure, but neither of them are going to be able to deal with Leora.
All right, so no dragon, but instead the double Merc push bottom lane has actually done a lot of value. The gate is now missing. We've taken away the threat of the Stone Bros. Finally, a Dragon Knight actually mid from Famous. There was nobody left to contest him, and the stalwart Tassadar is rewarded. Bottom lane pushing, mid lane pushing, top is actually being won out solo by Leoric. This is actually looking phenomenal for Vault GG.
Yeah, this split push is huge for them. They've taken out 2 towers in mid. Bot already is working on the fort, trying to wait for a minion crowd to get in and start dealing damage to that too. Johanna not really having the best of time trying to stop this here. He's going to condemn in. King's going to try to come in and help too, but still so far this fort is already down to half. Logo's getting caught in the zombie wall and will be eliminated.
Yeah, so far I don't think King has really gotten the roams that he was looking. There's draft music in the background, you say? That should not be true at all. At all. I'm going to try to fade that out again in game. That's, yeah. You might have to scrap the VOD. We'll see. Either way, Vanity into the top. Level 10 to versus 8. Like, the early game push from Vault has been just right on the money.
Yeah, it's really helped them out, especially in being able to be very aggressive, play very aggressively, because they do have that advantage, and they will continue to do so as long as they have their heroics and their opponents do not. They picked up Gargantuan, the Devouring Maw, Tranquility, Archon, and March of the Black King, and I am pretty excited to see a potential Devouring Maw into March of the Black King.
Yep, that could definitely work out very well. If it's not going to be an Entomb, yeah, it has to be the March, but yeah, nobody really to kind of combo with that Entomb, but with the Maw, man, could you imagine the 3 people go down right into the face of Leoric? Oh, could be so good. He even put down a zombie donut. Like, he will avoid that those kind of zombies. He'll just go right through them and cleave the entire team. We'll have to see if that will come to pass. Level 11 to just barely 10. Vanity and crew should actually get those heroics, and there we go. So we can at least fight, but when it comes down to it, 3 takedowns nil and multiple structures missing, Vault is still in a very hefty position.
Dragon Knight will be spawning sooner, at least the shrines, and it looks like we've got Simon's Boys trying to get a little bit of pressure on the battleground so they don't run into an issue where they get pushed too far back in their lanes where they can stop their opponents from picking up another Dragon Knight. So they're going to grab their bruisers on bottom. Giants being picked up by a Vault. So they're still working on this bottom push, and I think we're going to see them going very aggressively toward this fort, trying to take it out before the shrine starts to stop.
Now, such a heavy push comp. I wonder if this was intentional. I didn't actually get to see the draft, but there's nobody on Simon's Boys that can actually take a mule. So when you go for a heavy push comp, one of the bigger counters is that you pick up a mule, right? You kind of delay it out a little bit. Nobody could have actually done that here from Simon. So I'm curious if that was a big factor for this double specialist push comp.
Judgment goes down onto Malfurion, who is eliminated thanks to the combo of Zinso. So they have at least gotten rid of that healer, and they've got now a little bit of a power play, a 5v4 situation where they can take the bottom shrine, and just barely stopped, by the way, the Dragon Knight, as Famous was all alone in that mid, but they have stopped it. They've also possibly going to start rotating around, maybe grab some mercs to keep the pressure on in that bottom lane, but already Nazeebo going back after the shrine.
Yeah, so the 5-man collapse, sure, got them the Malfurion, but they used 3-4? Did they use 4 heroics just to take down the Malfurion? Yeah, you're setting yourself up for a little bit of a big counterplay here. And I think Vol GG, because, you know, immediately they go bottom, they get this point. Now Famous threatening this dragon. It will actually be stopped out by Jinzhou into the top. Yes, it will. But using that many heroics, like, we have a big window of opportunity here from Volt to recollect and kind of smash as hard as they can.
Yeah, and in fact, they are going to grab the Giants in bottom now, so they're forcing Simon's Boys to try to decide between defending those or letting them push all the way close to keep. And in fact, they might lose Nova here too, as looks like Logos was able to save Nova, but King's gonna have to go back.
Yeah, he's not exactly getting the big map pressure. He's not getting the damage that you would expect to see from a Nova. But wow, Famous, he just comes right up here, immediately Archons. But, you know, Vanity, he's going to have kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card. He can just use that Tyrael sword. But Jinzhou, not exactly the same kind. The Black King March misses, but the last auto attacks that, oh, the vulnerability, I was gonna say the poison from Nazeebo actually might net themselves a takedown, but again, another heroic used, very much on the defensive here, and again, I can see Vanity, I can see Vanity and crew actually falling here to Volt.
Yeah, Vanity actually nearly got picked up by the Devouring Mob, but instead he died. But the King and Shepherd walked right into a zombie donut there, and both fell. Logos now on the trying to run, trying to get away, but will condemn Novus. Might actually condemn Novus into her death, but no, she will get away. The Mutalisk not quite enough to take out Logos.
Absolutely insane that at this point we still have only one takedown to the name of Simon's Boys.
That Divine Shield was amazing, though.
It was. But again, like, they used it not in combat. They used it as a defensive mechanism to get her away. And so they didn't have it in that big team fight. And then they all kind of funneled into the top shrine. It's like, I mean, such zone control coming out here from Volt. Like, they had the mod, they had the zombie donuts. There's so much splash damage available with the static charges from the Psystorms with that March of the Black King with the Tassadar Archon. And it did not do any favors to Simon's Boys.
And they didn't even end up using Tranquility through that, which is a very nice save to not have to use that from Vault. And the heroic abilities are coming back up. They've also picked up the Dragon Knight, being able to take out the wall in front of this keep, opening it up for further pressure later on. Only one fort remaining on the side of Simon's Boys, and 16 versus 13 here in favor of Vault.
Yep, the sweet spot is real. Really, sweet spot is real. We got the Leaping Spiders coming into that one, the double Mutalisks, as well as Tenacious Roots. I mean, this is just going from a bad situation to worse here for Simon's Boys. But, I mean, oh, Logos got put right into the zombie wall. They had to throw out the Divine Shield on top of him as well. And again, that's another missed timing, as apparently Nova's about to drop there as well into the back. And 16-13, you've got keep pressure, you're down that Nova. I mean, this top fort, its days are numbered at this point.
Especially with the pickup of these bruisers, offensive bruisers in favor of Vault. We're going to push straight up to that fort. And with the pressure in mid, it looks like they're just distracting Simon's Boys from going up there and defending it. And that means the cruisers are just going to go straight, taking out that fort themselves. Well, they might start putting on keep pressure here.
Yep, and the keep pressure could absolutely be real. They got the Mercs top, that's fine. They got nothing to do bottom. So yeah, you go for the mid. And 3 levels up, you got those 16 towns over your opponents for God, another few moments at the very least. And we should have shrines, popping sometime in the next 30 to 45 seconds, or at least the notifications for it. So, paint the map blue, and that's exactly what they're doing. Not only will they get the top fort with those bruisers that they stole, they now actually have the Stone Bros marching bottom. It's going to be more bruisers on top of that, probably the other Stone Bros, and then the last of the bruisers, and we should even have shrines by then.
Yeah, they're going to rotate all the way around, pick up all of those camps, and Simon's boys can't do anything about it.
Are they baiting it? Just like, we're not there, haha, you can't see us. No, and Jinzhao's like, all right, we gotta go, we gotta check him out. Oh, we find a Tassadar, but I think he popped the cherry a little too quickly there.
Yeah, this is an interesting play here to try to delay it, but there is the Oracle revealing the rest of the team. Novus is on his way in, and they're going to try to catch somebody here. Looks like Zombie Wall will catch Johanna, and Judgment goes down on the back line onto Malfurion, but he is going to be nice and healthy. Zagara is down low thanks to a Precision Strike. King, though, and Zinzo very, very low. It was actually King's clone, I lied. But 2 down versus 1 in favor of Vault, who are still on the chase. They've picked up already a tower and a gate here. They get the last tower, and they're pushing with Bruisers and Siege Giants here toward the speed.
Yeah. The Tassadar ambush, I thought, was actually a little bit too preemptive, but they said, okay, well, we just got to commit to it anyways. And again, the zone control is absolutely phenomenal coming out from Vault GG. They really controlled that fight. They got 2 quick takedowns. Sure, they lost out to Zagara, but they're able to push with, again, the setup here of those mercenaries. The Stone Bros are still actually tossing rocks at this point. And a keep, that's a big, big milestone right there from Vault, because they got the keep, they have the map pressure, they're going to get these shrines, a dragon, and probably level 20 by the end of this push.
Yeah, it took so long for Simon's boys to be able to finish all those mercenaries that they're not really in position to take a shrine just yet, but they do have Zinzo in the mid. Can, though, Novus stave off the Jaina? Looks like Malfurion died for the shrine, but it's not going to be soon enough, as the Water Elemental was long enough to stop Vault from picking up the Dragonite. So good job by Simon's boys in being able to stave that off for now.
Blessed Shield, Water Elemental, I mean, they used 2 heroics to kill down General Clean, and sure, I mean, hey, kill secure, that's great. And they stopped out the dragon, but at the same time, I mean, again, they're putting themselves in a bad spot, because as soon as General Clean comes right back up, and he's going to be, right here to the front line, this could actually not go the way of Simon's boys whatsoever. They need to get somebody to that top shrine. They don't really want to be fighting here.
No, especially underneath the towers. They're taking so much damage. They're not really doing too much here. Precision Strike goes down, but Ice Block keeps Baba Booey alive. Judgment into Baba Booey material way too far forward, and he's taken out. Johanna falls too, and now all of a sudden it's 3v4, and Vault are able to push this right back.
Yeah, one of them, all they have to do is just go get that bottom shrine. We're going to have General Clean coming up just about now, which means any kind of prolonged siege is going to be in favor of Vault GG. As I said, by the end of the Dragon, they should have actually level 20, but that team fight is going to catapult them right to the cusp, and there's the Storm Towns coming into it now as well. And now it's a level 20 full-man rostered team to push in with the Dragon. I don't think Nova can really stop this one out. And yeah, King, is that the Tassadar? Yeah, it's Tassadar actually in the Dragons. They couldn't see King as quickly as they wanted, but still, when you're 2-man down for defense and Famous is coming into your keep, I mean, the defense is going to be harsh.
This keep is already at half health. Vault grabbing the Siege Giant just randomly on the way to running to this keep, so they're going to have a little bit of split push on bottom, although there's no structures there really, but once they get there, they'll have Giants on top of the fact that they have the Dragonite and all of their members up healthy. But everyone from Simon Boys are up here to defend. The problem is that they don't have level 20. Precision Strike goes down is not enough as the Tranquility comes in to heal everyone right back up. The Dragonite starting to wail on the core a little bit. Here comes the Judgment, but Vanity, once again, it pulls him so far out of position that he loses nearly all of his health and has to go straight back into the next.
Nobody actually loses their life there, but still, we got 2 lanes, 2 sets of catapults. The Dragon Knight has already gone right through that core shield, and that is going to be GG, ladies and gentlemen, as the first game goes over to Vault GG, who had GG in their name ready to go anyways, and just phenomenal stuff. Like, I really am curious about how the drafting went down, because that double specialist lane into the bottom lane basically went uncontested for majority of this game.
Yeah, I almost feel like Simon's boys weren't realizing how much of a difficulty it was going to be. But the fact that they were having trouble with that, and then they would send people down, and then they had trouble with Leoric up top, also pushing just by himself. He was taking people on 1v2.
Yep.
And I know that they did have a level lead, but just the fact that they had trouble in both of the lanes that had the shrines made it so much easier for Vault to be able to get those Dragon Knights and to get pushes constantly going, taking down structures and getting even more of an experience lead.
It's something to be said of, the Vault GG composition, and Leoric, he's just phenomenal. I mean, this is why he's a top 4 power pick right now. If it's not a Zagara or a Jaina or a Zeratul, it's a Leoric, and Leoric is just insane. And he had really good positioning and really good matchups because he went up against the Tyrael. Tyrael, we usually sword in to just start things. You latch onto him with hope, with Drain Hope, and you heal everything that he ever does to you. Nova comes in, same kind of idea. Even if you see her anywhere, she has no escapes. Drain Hope, she doesn't do anything to you. And the 2v1 situation was just ridiculous. I mean, he can get out with the unstoppable Wraith Walk. He can soak so much because he can just drain Hope. Yeah, he's a big pick right now. So he was well played right there.
He was. I also definitely, we saw Tyrael a couple of times, Judgment so far forward, and the rest of the team was not prepared or ready for it. And especially on the Malfurion, they Judgment into the Precision Strike, but it just wasn't enough to be able to take somebody out before the Tranquility could come in and just heal everyone right back up from Precision Strike, no problem. So I think damage really was an issue there for Simon's Boyz.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so we're going to set up for game number 2, Vault GG and Simon's Boyz. It is looking good for Vault. If they can actually 2-0 this, then they're going to go up against the Kings of the Storm themselves, Tempo. And we saw how fast those games were, so let's see what Vault can also show us here, or are they going to keep something a bit closer to their chest so that when they go up against Tempo, they have a little bit of a trump card. We'll have to see, because game number 2 is going to be coming out here in just a moment. And hopefully you'll be joining Gilly and I there.